Hey guys, I'm here with Ian, and I want to basically talk to Ian today because he sent me a message that really struck my heart and made me feel really kind of, I don't know, emotional. Because in case you didn't know, I've just authored my very first book, The Internal Warrior, and Ian was one of the first purchasers of it, and yeah, he said it's really helped him. So just in case there's anybody out there who's kind of in a similar or same position as Ian, then I decided to get him on so that we can talk through and he can share the experiences that and things that the book has helped him break through with. Okay, so if you just intro yourself, Ian, and just tell the audience who you are and kind of what you do.
Right, I'm Ian Foran. I run a boot camp down in Haywood in the Manchester area. Basically, I've been personal training for about 4 years. Moved into the boot camp side of things, and it's been sort of ticking along. Do you know what I mean? Quite quietly, sort of moving in the right direction. Until about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, I'd been on holiday, and I'd come back off holiday and just come back to basically just seemed like my world just crashed. I lost a good 15 or so clients. People just seemed to be flitting off the program, and I just couldn't control anything. I was just in a proper place where I didn't know whether I wanted to carry on or I wanted to just quit it all and just get out. And I was just stuck. I was just there. Basically, I really didn't know what to do. And I think at that point you start thinking, I mean, why? Obviously, one, are these people leaving, and is it me? But it was easier to blame them, because for me, I'm not one person who sort of looks at themselves and go, "Oh, it's my fault." It's their fault.
Yeah.
So I'd been kind of having these thought processes in my head of like, there must be a reason. Do you know what I mean? I mean, 15 people obviously is quite a lot, as you know, to lose in a week. But I've been having these thoughts of, I'm going to quit the business. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to go back to my old job of ceiling fixing, because it was just easy. I knew what to do. And I was having a proper struggle, like a bit of a breakdown, to be honest. And then I'd obviously seen you was writing this book.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not impulsive, but you know what I mean. I can be like spontaneous every now and then, if you know what I mean. Nothing like action takerish.
Yeah.
As usual, I always run through with Leanne, my partner. Right, I'm going to do this. Do you reckon this is a good idea? Sort of that, and I got the email through, and I just bought it. It was just like that. I was buy this, and I got it through, and Leanne went, "You just bought a book?" I said, "Yeah, I've bought this book. I don't know why. I just need to get this book."
Yeah.
There was something about that book that I needed to get.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big reader.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm more one of these I have to watch, or like attention spans not that switched on.
Yeah.
I just need to visually see. But I read the book, it must have been about 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just couldn't put it down. And every single last chapter just spoke to me. Like, literally, Chris, you wrote it just to me. It got to me big time.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, message, I broke down. I was just like, wow, I need to really assess myself and really see what's going on here.
Awesome. I mean, I'm almost speechless to the fact that, I mean, it's a weird experience writing a book, because you spend a lot of time in your own thoughts and a lot of time reflecting. So this book's probably been inside me for the last 6 months, but it's only been the last 2 months that I've actually taken the action to write it. But the book just flowed from me because of all the mistakes that I'll say mistakes, all the lessons that I've learned over the last kind of 2 years of running a fitness business, and kind of going from being somebody in a university, having a degree, having a lifestyle of eating whatever I want, drinking whatever I want, and then running a business, then that business all collapsing down around us, and then have to rebuild everything again. And I mean, the book made me look at myself, but I kind of guess I wrote the book for myself more than anything else, but other people who are reading it, and it makes me really happy that it can impact so many people. So if I was to say, like, I mean, what was your sort of thought process as you started reading the first few pages of the book? Like, what was it that gripped you about it?
It was, I mean, I've always been a believer of like, you know, visualization and stuff like that, but never really put it into practice. And obviously you started off with that, and it was the concept, obviously, you explained about the brain and the creative side and the stress side, and I've been living on that stress side for about 6 months or something.
Yeah.
And that's why I think everything was just stopping. When it just seemed to make sense. That like that'd be the reason.
Yeah.
That I'm just getting nowhere because I'm constantly stressed. So it kind of made me sort of think, well, you need to just relax, just de-stress yourself a little bit and start bit by bit. Because obviously with a book, it's a journey within itself. If you
yeah,
you start off, it's like a step-by-step guide as to you start here and you're going to go through this process.
Yeah.
And as I read it, I actually read it twice within 24 hours.
Wow.
As I read it, I went through it, and then I thought, right, I'm going to start again, and literally sort of do chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
And like they start with a visualization, write my boards, basically do my homework you'd set me.
Yeah, good.
And just, I think maybe the third day, I sat down and I just looked at myself and sort of put down, right, I'm in this position.
Yeah.
And for me, I like to analyse, and I sort of went back to say, right, I'm in this position because of these little effects. Do you know what I mean? I've lost these people because I've not put this type of work in, and I sort of went right back to sort of childhood and went back to like the family and how that's affected me, and what their actions was and how I've sort of grown into that without me actually knowing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I think I said epiphany to you.
Yeah.
It feels like I said a weight lifted off my shoulder at the time, and literally since then I've been bouncing on a cloud for the past like 7 days. I've never done so much work in the past 7 days as like I have. Literally, I've been getting up at 5 in the morning, just writing or making sure I'm prepared and trying to make new habits, but try not to do it all at once.
Yeah.
I found that's a major problem with me. It's like, right, I'm going to do it, boom, I'll do everything at once, and then within a couple of weeks, it's all gone.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think like the compound effect, basically. Think little small steps going along, and it's going to create that bigger picture.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, the first 7 days, and I've made differences, but not massive differences, if you know what I mean. I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I'm taking in baby steps instead of just taking the big leap. I try taking more action as well and trying to be more, because I found out as well when you were saying it, I'm more of a passive type of person.
Yeah.
But I need to be assertive. I need to, and I said to you, and I'm every single morning, I get up 5 o'clock and it's freezing. As you know, this morning the brass monkeys were covering themselves up. And I woke up, and every single morning I wake up and just think, what would a warrior do?
Yeah.
I see at Mrs. I'll go, you what? I say, what would a warrior do? And I get like, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in my head constantly. Any decision I'm making, it's like, what would a warrior do?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, that's just stuck out to me. Like just like a big headlight just stuck out. You need to sort of grab life by the balls, basically.
Exactly. What chapter is that in? Let's have a look. I've got it on my vision board, all the chapter outline. I think it is. Yes, is Be Courageous, chapter 7, I think it is.
Yes.
Be courageous. So having the ability to do something, knowing that even that sometimes it might not work out.
Yeah, definitely so. It's living at that side, that comfort zone for me. Because again, obviously looking at myself, I mean, I've never been so self-analytical about myself, because I'm one of them. I just brush things away, and I've really sort of drilled down into myself, and I've never just took that new life. I'd like to keep quite safe.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I've got to do stuff now that I'm not comfortable with, because that's the only way, and I want to be like where I want to be and go to the places, experience what I want to experience.
Yeah.
So it is just action taking more than anything, and just sort of thinking about, doing something differently than what you would normally do.
Yeah.
For me, instead of just, I'll have an extra 10 minutes in bed, well, I'll get myself up and I'm more prepared and I'm more awake for the first session of the day. So it's just little bits that I'm finding, and for me, memory-wise as well, and trying to. The visualization is brilliant because my memory is so shocking. I'm trying to work on my memory, so the visualization is brilliant for keep drilling it into me every single day to keep doing it. We even started reading a chapter a day.
Yeah.
I've got about 10 books in my Kindle.
Yeah.
Which are just collecting dust inside there. So I thought, Joe, every day I'm just going to read that little bit and just start wading through bit by bit instead of trying to crack through one book a day.
Yeah.
Unless it's your book, and then I get through it in 12 hours.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I find people go wrong, especially like people who are quite young, right? I never used to read at all. Well, like I say, now I read a morning chapter and an evening chapter a day. And it's because I never ever read when I was growing up, I held this type of thing of, well, I don't read books. That's kind of me. Like I never read books. I never read. Yeah. So then you kind of go along thinking that this is, because I've always done it that way, that's just who I am, right? Instead of actually challenging that belief and saying with rational thought, well, if other people read books every day, why can't I read books every other day? And like, say, for example, if somebody was to say, Chris, can you play the piano? Turn around with a response saying, well, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, no, I can't, say, well, I don't know. I'll give it a go. You know what I mean?
It is.
So it's like, it's opening yourself up to so much more. So many people put themselves in boxes and stay in that box, that little tiny jewellery box, if you like, for the rest of their life, instead of opening up to the world, you know what I mean? And there's so much opportunity out there and so many different avenues and areas that you can expand into, grow into, and that's kind of the whole idea of the book, is to open up people, especially young people who are, I mean, like the book's written for people between age 14 and 35, because I can relate to that age very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, the book will benefit anyone of any age.
It does. I mean, as I told you, I've told absolutely everybody to read that book. I mean, my book is full of women. I've said to every single one of them,
yeah,
get on it. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously labelled between 14 and 35, but it is just about yourself, and it's being happy within yourself and having that constant. For me, it's that constant thing of what people think and what people are saying. Yeah, and it's trying to sort of just edge that out, you know, bit by bit, and not changing yourself, but obviously just creating a new you.
Yeah,
which I've been trying to for the first 7 days anyway, and trying to crack on.
But like it says in the book, it's all small incremental pieces of change over time that lead to something far greater. So if you can just keep, it's like, imagine a big stone sculpture, right?
Yeah.
It started off one big block of stone, yeah? And the craftsman's chiseling away every little bit every day, and people are going, oh, look at him, he's wasting loads of time. And it's not until 2 years, 3 years down the line, and he chisels the last few bits in, that it becomes a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it just started as a block of stone, yeah? But because of those small little taps every single day, it now becomes a masterpiece. And that's the reason I've written the book. And I guess I don't really give... There's not much do this, is there, in there? It's more like the answers are inside of you. It's me helping you extract that information.
That's it. Like I said, it's chapter by chapter. You just find yourself on that journey. It isn't a case of, right, you need to be courageous today, so go out and do something. That's what I want to be. You kind of make your own decision.
Yeah.
And but like I say, you sort of bring it out here. The internal warrior.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So if I was to say, 3 things that you've taken away from the book that have really impacted and that will impact you for the rest of your life, that you could recommend other people to do, what would they be?
3 things. I think one, which is massive for me, is the looking at yourself. I think it's probably one of the hardest things to do as well, is looking at yourself and sort of analysing yourself. And I think the second hardest was obviously asking other people what your flaws are, because you don't like looking at them.
Yeah.
But I think if you accept them, then it's like, right, that's who I am. I want to be the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one, looking at yourself. 2, definitely the compound effect really struck with me massively. You know, like for some people it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of thinking of, I may not say get to where I want to be tomorrow, but if I take these little baby steps, I know in like 3 months down the line, I'm going to be a lot further than sort of just jumping on and jumping off the bus, constantly.
Yeah.
So making a little small habits, just introducing them bit by bit. And I think that the final one, I think the visualization. I love that visualization stuff.
Yeah.
And I think especially the way you explain it as well, it's real simple terms and you get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched like The Secret and stuff like that in the past, and I think that's kind of not like brainwashed a little bit, as in like, oh, you just think you're gonna get 10 grand and sit there, it's gonna get in your lap.
Yeah.
Whereas if you like that visualization and you're letting that subconscious just let it work, and I think it's constantly in your head. Constantly like you're thinking, well, I want to make 10 grand.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to get it? And I think you see opportunities, and you go to the visualization and you think, oh, this opportunity might lead me there. So I think it leads to more action taken as well.
Definitely.
Which I think I've just looked at things in a different light this week and sort of took a step back, and it's just opened like a new world for me. And it's constantly in my head. Like I said to you on the message, I'm actually going to get a tattoo of what a warrior means to me. So it's every day I can see it and it's there.
Yeah.
And it reminds me.
Yeah.
Instead of like I said, just staying in bed or reaching for some cheap fast food or something like that. It's like no, because that's going to stop me getting to where I want to be. I need to be looking good. So that's not going to help me.
Yeah.
So definitely, those are the three that really struck a chord with me big time.
How if you don't mind me asking, Ian, how old are you now?
28.
28.
Yeah.
Ah, awesome. So what would you say to other males within the age of 14 to 35? I guess the guys at 14 have got a huge advantage by reading this book. I mean,
God, I wish we were 14 and bloody reading the book. I wish we were 14 in general. It'd be easier.
What would you say to anybody who's kind of sitting on the fence over getting the book or investing in the book?
For the price, I think it's worth like 10 times the price. It's priceless, the book. You get it, and it's gonna change your life. And it's probably a massive big statement, but it would. Do you know what I mean? You just got to read it, and I think you've got to speak. You've got to be open to it. You can't, like you say, people live in boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You've got to be prepared to sort of open the box.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably that first step. You read through it, and it'll hit obviously a chord at some point through the book. I think it'll hit a chord with someone, and you've got to just sort of take a step back from life and think, right, let's just go at it. Do you know what I mean? You're only here once at the end of the day. Yeah. And there's no point just sort of running around doing what you've always done and complaining what you've always complained about. It's you want to make your own experiences and make your own life. So you're not going to do it by just sort of listening to what other people make you do, if you know what I mean. That's the way I've sort of interpreted it. Like I'm living life by what other people think and say of me. Yeah. Instead of what I do. Yeah. But honestly, I think I've told every single person. I'd probably stop people in the street soon and just say, here's the link, and get it now.
Yes, awesome, buddy, awesome. So have you got any final parting statements? I mean, those people that are watching, I can't begin to express my gratitude for you actually taking the time to spend sharing my thoughts. I mean, over 24 hours reading the book twice. It's probably like you got to know me quite intimately because I share a lot of stories of my own life through there.
You do.
And I'm like open and honest with everything that I've struggled with in my life. So, I mean, any parting statements that you'd like to put out there?
You need to get the book, basically. You get the book, you read it, and you just take action on what you've said. And I think it's the honesty that probably gets you the most. Now you've sort of said that, it's because a lot of people can relate. Obviously, people who are younger can kind of foresee, like, you know, life's not as easy as you think when you're in school and stuff like that. It's quite a struggle, and like I say, they've got a massive advantage, but it is like at 28 as well, you sort of think, well, I'm coming up to 30 now, and my life's kind of my life now, I just sort of settle. It kind of makes you think, well, it's not. You can just scrap that and just start again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. It makes you want to start again and makes you look at life completely differently, 100%.
Excellent.
And it's a massive thank you to you, because I know my life's going to change. I mean, I've been struggling for years to get it to where I want to be, and I really believe just off reading, and I never thought I'd say just off reading my life would change.
Yeah.
But it has, definitely.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to say this once. There's probably a lot of gurus out there kind of teaching all this self-help stuff and selling programs for like $2,000. Like, this book is £10, right? And hopefully this book, my mission is to help people out there make changes in their life so that, like, and even become my friends, the people who buy the book. I want to become a tight circle of people, and I want to be able to turn around in 5 years' time and we're all millionaires, or, you know, and I'm on the journey as well, and I just want everybody to profit and benefit from it as much as possible. So thank you, Ian, for taking time out to write the message, taking time for this interview. I really, really can't express how much I appreciate that.
No worries, Chris. Same to you, bud.
Thank you very much, Ian.
No worries. See you later.
Bye-bye.